People want to know, what do I think about the viability of Jussie Smollett's defense attorney claiming double jeopardy on appeal? Well, I am going to let you know my thoughts in just a few seconds. So we know that the Fifth Amendment provides in pertinent part that nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb. And I think it's quite interesting that Tina Glandian, who is one of the attorneys for Jussie Smollett, is now going around stating that the appeal should be based on double jeopardy. But let me take you back to 2019 when these 16 charges were originally dropped. Do you recall Tina Glandian going on an entire media campaign where she was quite clear that this was not punishment, that he did not strike a deal? Essentially, the state could not prove their case. Let's go back to that time so that I can refresh your recollection.
And Jussie Smollett's attorney, Tina Glandian, joins us now. Ms. Glandian, thanks for being with us. How do you square the state's attorney, Kim Foxx, saying she's confident her office could have proven Jussie Smollett's guilt with the fact that she dropped the case?
I think, as I said earlier, that if they were able to prove the charges, they never would have dismissed the case. Sorry.
It's okay. Those things pop out all the time.
I think there's been a lot of political pressure in this case. And so as much as we applauded the state's attorney's office for what they did yesterday, which was the right thing under the circumstances, they've been backpedaling, and we understand all the heat and pressure they've gotten, and they've been reacting to that.
So Jussie Smollett did, like 2 days of community service and paid a $10,000 fine. Why did he do that? I mean, that seems to be some form of punishment. What was he being punished for?
He was not punished. He was not ordered to do a single thing in this case. He voluntarily agreed to forfeit the bond because if he had chosen, and this was a decision he struggled with because he knew what the perception would be and he didn't want that to be the perception. But had he wanted to go to trial, he would have to put his career and his life on hold for a minimum of a year, and he would have incurred much more costs than $10,000 to ultimately bring this to trial. And to have his day in court would have put his career on hold and also been very costly. So we strongly advised him to agree to forfeit the bond. As far as the community service, that's completely been falsely represented at this point. Jussie, as we told the judge at the initial bond hearing, has always volunteered. He's been a contributing member of society for decades at this point and volunteered with dozens, if not hundreds of organizations. And so he has done volunteer service. I know there was some questions about the Push Coalition. They put a statement out saying that there was no court-ordered community service, which is the true facts here. And if you look at the transcripts from the proceedings where the case was dismissed, there's no mention of any required community service either before or after the fact.
So if you can just stay with us, Ms. Glandian, because I do want to bring in Laura Coates and Jeffrey Toobin, who are both former federal prosecutors and CNN legal analysts. Laura, you hear the argument.
So you heard out of Jussie Smollett's attorney's own mouth, this was not a punishment. So now in a total about face, all of a sudden, this is punishment and it's double jeopardy. So what do you think I think about the double jeopardy argument that they are setting forth? Please let me know in the comments. I did see that recently there were some questions that were put out regarding Tina Glandian, and she said no comment. Well, maybe there should have been no comment in the beginning instead of going on this media campaign, especially if there was any chance that you would be trying to use this double jeopardy argument in the future. But anyway, that's how I feel about double jeopardy. So why don't you go ahead and subscribe and let everyone know about our channel. And until next time, I will talk at you later.